So now we are going to discuss about syntax director definition in this video. Before that, the syntax director definition is happening in the semantic analysis. So we first knew about the semantic analysis. It is a third phase of the compiler. It is a collection of procedure which is called by parser as and when required by the grammar. It makes sure that the declaration and statement of the program are semantically correct. And it uses syntax tree and symbol table to check whether the given program is semantically consistent with language definition. Here, in typed languages C, semantic analysis involves adding information to the symbol table and performing type checking. And also in the semantic analysis, it is to be computed based on the capabilities of standard parsing techniques. See in the below example, we can change the production rule to the syntax directed definition rule using the semantic rules. Whenever we change the production rule to semantic rule, we can additionally add the variable information in that particular expression. Like we change the e value as e dot code here. Here in the dot code is an additional information about the variable e. Now we are going to discuss about the two types of attributes used in the syntax direct definition. They are, first one is synthesized attribute, another one is inherited attribute. So what is synthesized attribute? Here, the synthesized attributes are attributes which derived their values from their children nodes. So here the parent node is derived the children node, which means here the child node is computed from the parent node. So they are those attributes which derive their values from their children node. That is the value of synthesized attribute at node S is computed from the value of attribute at children nodes in the parse tree. So in the below example, can you see the left side example? A gives B, C. A is a root node for the children B and C. And the first expression A dot S is equal to B dot B. From the A, we can derive the value of B is called synthesized attribute. So can you see the second expression B dot I is equal to F of C dot C comma function of C dot C comma E dot S. Here we can derive the children node is used to deriving the parent node. So in that case, the synthesized attribute doesn't accept the particular expression because synthesized node only accept the parent node derivation. So from the root node only we can derive the child nodes. So next one is inherited attributes. Inherited attributes are attributes which derive their values from their parent or sibling nodes. That is, value of inherited attributes are computed by value of parent or sibling node. Can you see the example in the right side? A gives B, C, D, where the child node B is deriving the root node, which is called inherited attribute, and also child node D is also deriving the child node C. So, where deriving the siblings can also deriving the child node. But if the root value deriving the child node means that is not accepted in the inherited attribute because that one is accepted by synthesized attribute. So in the third expression, a dot val is a dot val. Here a is the root node deriving the child node c dot val. So in that case, this is known as synthesized attribute. So next we are going to differentiate the inherited and synthesized attribute. In an can you see the table here? Where in the fourth column, can you see it? The inherited attribute only accept the L attribute, and synthesis attribute uses this attribute in both L attribute and S attribute. And it see the fifth example, inherited attribute only have a non-terminal in its body, but in synthesis attribute it have a non-terminal as a head. So in the synthesis attribute, a single top-down and sideways positive traversal is used to evaluate this attribute. But in the synthesis attribute, it is used as the single bottom-up traversal of the positive and to evaluate this attribute. So this is what the difference of inherited attribute and synthesized attribute. Now we are going to discuss about the semantic rules. So semantic rules of the syntax directed definition. So what are all the semantic rules followed by a semantic analyzer is? Before that, we need to know the evaluation of the semantic rules may be generate a code. So here it is used to generate the code and insert information into the symbol table, performing semantic check and issue. If there is any error messages, it issues the error messages. Next one, there are two notations for attaching semantic rules. First one is syntax directed definition and second one is syntax translation schemes. So syntax directed definition. So what is syntax directed definition? Here we can see what is SDD. So these are the formal methods. The syntax direction definition is a formal method of attaching semantic information to the syntactic structure of programming language. Where the syntax directed definition improve the means of context-free high level by instances adding a semantic rule set of every production of the grammar. So in the rules are described in these definitions state how to derive values such as types, memory locations, or fragments of code from the structure of an input object. So next one is syntax translation scheme. It is the action of translating a high-level language program into an intermediate language or machine language according to the semantic rules imposed by syntax directed definition. The semantic action in syntax directed definition act in a coordination with the parsing processes. It is also in order to provide the translation of the input code. So these actions are declarative and they are triggered during the parsing phase of the message to yield the result. So here we need to discuss about what is syntax directed definition. So syntax directed definition is a formal method of attaching information to the syntactic structure of programming language. So already we have discussed about the example. Here it associated to the grammar symbol representing the language context. Value of attributes are computed by semantic rules associated with the grammar productions. Already we discussed about the syntax directed definitions. Now we are going to explain about the symbol table. Before going to explain about the symbol table, um, first we need to know the syntax directed translation. So We can say that grammar plus semantic rule is syntax directed translation. So in syntax directed translation, every non-terminal can get one or more than one attribute or sometimes zero attribute. Depending on the type of attribute, it consists of the attributes. So the value of these attributes is evaluated by the semantic rules associated with the production rule. So in the semantic rule, attribute is val, val. And an attribute may hold anything like a string, a number, a memory location, and a complex record. So in syntax directed translation, whenever a construct encounters in the programming language, then it is translated according to the semantic rules and defined in particular programming language. So see the above example. E.val is one of the attribute of E. And num.lexval is the attribute returned by the lexical analyzer in the last line. So that is digit.lexval. So the lexval is returned by the lexical analyzer attribute. Thank you.